The green trees were looking white because of the snowfall. It was a winter day. As soon as it snowed, the forest was covered with snow. The animals, who had stored food before the arrival of winter, were happily sitting in the house and eating. Those who had not made any arrangements, were shivering from the cold and went out in search of food. The fox got its dinner from fat rabbits and round sugar. Before the arrival of winter, she used to collect pieces of bread which would come in handy during the winter days when there was nothing to eat. One day the fat rabbit had gone to his grandmother's house and Chucker was not at home. That night the fox and her husband, the fox, ate stale pieces at night. Early in the morning, the fox made a round of the forest in search of food, but no food was available. When she returned unsuccessfully, her hungry husband was anxiously waiting for her. "Have you returned empty-handed with something?" she asked with great impatience. The fox stared at her husband, then said, "What can be found in this extreme cold? So will we have to eat pieces of stale bread again?" The fox said angrily, and the brown-eyed fox got angry at her lazy husband and spoke. "Enemy of the work's failure of grain, sometimes find food yourself." Saying this, the fox took out the stale pieces of bread in the box and placed it in front of the fox and spoke. "Until food is arranged, we will have to live on these pieces." After saying this, she started eating pieces of bread. The fox looked at these pieces and said, "My teeth hurt from eating stale pieces at night. It's happening, my heart wants to eat meat today. I hope my wish will come true." The fox said, "You want everything to be handed over to you. I am very lucky to have a lazy husband like you who has to feed himself." After saying this, she continued to raise her eyebrows for a while, then silently started chewing the stale pieces of bread. The hungry fox did not even look at the pieces of bread placed in front of him for a while, but when he was hungry, he made a mouthful of a piece. Picked it up and started chewing. While he was chewing the piece, he heard a fluttering sound in the sky, then 4 ducks came down to the ground. They saw the fox and the fox chewing the pieces of bread, so they came closer to them that they might eat some pieces of bread. Throw 4. The fox had collected the bread crumbs with great difficulty, so he did not throw a single piece of bread to them, but the fox threw a big piece of bread to the ducks. Wrap all 4 ducks on a piece of bread. The healthy duck among them got the piece of bread and devoured it immediately. The fox threw the second piece and the same duck ate it, the third piece fell in the middle and the 4 ducks on it. They swooped down quickly, but this piece was also taken away by a duck. Seeing this, the fox yelled at the fox, "Are you not crazy who are wasting the pieces of bread like this?" said the fox. "I have a stomach ache after eating these dry pieces, so I am feeding these ducks," he said. He also threw the 4th and 5th pieces to the ducks. The duck also ate these pieces. When his fellow ducks protested, he beat them well. Seeing these actions of the duck, the fox said, "How greedy this duck is, it is also eating the share of its fellow ducks." The fox did not answer. Now he started throwing pieces of bread only at that greedy duck. After eating the other duck's part, the duck's belly swelled. He ate so much that now it is difficult to run around. Done. Just do it, you have fed all the pieces to that greedy duck. The fox shouted to the fox, but he did not pay any attention to the fox's words. Seeing this, the fox was very upset and grumbled and went inside his hut. The duck came close to the fox in the lure of the pieces. The fox was also deliberately dropping the pieces near him. He jumped and caught the duck. He tried to run away, but it ran away. Seeing this, the other ducks immediately flew away. The fox happily stuffed the greedy duck into his mouth and entered the hut. He said, offering the duck's feathers and the fox's meat, "I am a thief and a thief, but I am not so stupid as to feed all my food to someone like that. Now you must have understood why I was feeding all the pieces to this greedy duck. Come, in this cold weather, the ducks are warm. Blow the hot meat kamza." The fox, who was very confused about the fox some time ago, now it seemed to him that the fox was the wisest animal in the world. He said, "You are really very clever, I believed you. After that, together they feasted on the delicious meat of the greedy duck.